Hi everybody, Jillian here for Illustrated Faith, and I am so excited to dig into the Word this morning with you as I share my Day 8 Advent entry from the Advent Devotional Kit from Illustrated Faith and DaySpring. So, Day 7 and Day 8 go so well together. They both talk about being the light, and so while I'm going to do Day 8, I'll probably reference what I worked through on Day 7 in here. And it has us in 1 John chapter 1, verse 7. I've already gotten an entry on that side where chapter 1 is, but it's no big deal. I've got a blank margin over here. I've got a little bit of some funk, I guess some residual ink from when I closed my Bible too soon when I did this page, so I'll show you how I treat that in order to get my entry in here today. So I've got a bunch of things here that I plan on using. I've got some bits from the devotional kit, like the clear stickers, the stamp set, the washi tape. I've got my pouch here with some of the die cuts from the Advent collection from Bella Boulevard, and also the ornament pieces that came in the devotional kit. Some designer clips, more paper pieces, and then I'll talk about this later on in the video once we're sped up, but I plan to use some distress inks to get some really fun color down on the page along with my entry. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and speed you guys up and we'll get started. Alright, so for today, the very first thing that I want to do is get out my white paint and my Illustrated Faith paint card here. I don't ever prep my pages. I don't use gesso or anything like that. This is as close to prepping pages as I'll ever get, is putting some really inexpensive white acrylic craft paint on my page. So that's how I got rid of some of the residual ink that was left over from the other entry, I guess, when I closed my Bible. And then, so the white paint serves two purposes: to cover the residual ink, and then also to create a base for the distress inks that I'm going to put on my page later. So in order to not make this super crinkly, I'm going to let it air dry instead of hitting it with my heat tool, and then do some other things while I'm waiting for that to dry. So I'm just going to look through the devotional here, kind of see what direction I want to take this, and then do some other things while I wait for the paint to dry. So typically, I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to do when I sit down to do a video, and at this point, that is not the case. So the first thing I want to start on is my title, and so I pulled this Wordfetti from the Print and Pray shop that was released last year originally, but was re-released recently. It's from Elaine Davis, and I wanted to use some Wordfetti to help build my title. Since it's a bit longer, I didn't want it to take up the whole page. I wanted to have plenty of room for journaling and paint and other fun stuff like that. So the phrase that I'm wanting to spell out is "let your light shine." At this point, that's what I'm thinking in my head. So fortunately, that phrase was on there, and I think it may have said "let your heart be light" or something like that. But just cut out what I needed and then set that to the side. Then I'm going to need some alpha sticker. So I looked to the fundamental sticker sheet. It's a 12 by 12 sticker sheet from the Advent collection. And I'm going to use those alphas on the bottom to get a part of the title down too. So at this point, the page is pretty dry, and I'm going to kind of look at some other things that I had pulled and see what might work on the page. I loved that cup on the bottom, that little mug, and definitely wanted to include it. And then I thought it would be so fun to put the actual devotional card on this page. So I'm going to use the washi tape that comes from the kit. My tip that I've learned for doing this is to tear off less washi tape than the length of the card. You don't want it to go over the edges. Let a bit of it hang off of the edge, about half of the washi tape hanging off the edge of your card or whatever you're putting in. And then I like to peel it back as I'm placing it on the page, and then just kind of release the tape and then stick it down. So I've got a nice little tip in there. And I just love how the colors kind of go with the entry that's already there on the left. So it was just a match made in 1 John. Now, from here on out, the mission of this entry is just basically to use all the mugs on this page. So we've got the mugs from the devotional card, and the mugs from the washi tape. I'm going to use that designer clip up at the top that has the pink mug on it, and I'm going to use the die cut piece, which is that blue mug with the little tea bag coming out of it. So they're just so cute. I hadn't used them in any of my Advent entries before, so definitely wanted to be sure to put all of them to good use. So I'm going to go ahead and get the middle of my title stuck down. So I used the Bible mat to line up the alpha stickers across the top and then kind of see where they'll look best. And then I ended up putting the clip up at the top first so that I knew how much room I had on the page. Typically that's something I would maybe do towards the end, but thought it would be good just to make sure that I didn't run out of room for all the things I wanted to be sure to include on the page. So now that I have the majority of my title down, I thought it would be fun to go ahead and put some distress inks on the page. I really like having the white acrylic paint as a base for this because I feel like you get more vibrant color. I only wanted to do small swatches of it, so for some reason in my mind that meant I should use a teeny tiny piece of plastic packaging to apply it. And I am that lady that saves the trash. I've got a bunch of plastic packaging you saw there kind of clipped together so that I can use it for things like this. So I'm just like blotting the ink pad on the clear packaging. I'm taking a brush with some water and moving the color around, kind of activating it and then smushing it onto my page. But I'm not really getting the vibrant color that I wanted. So I hit it with my heat tool. And then I decided, it's just not working the way that I wanted to. No big deal. So I'm going to go with what I know, and in this case, I fell back on my trusty acrylic paints that I've been using for almost all of the entries this month. So these are the Target Handmade Modern acrylic paints. I'm using the Robin's Egg Blue, the Rosemary, and then I have the Candy Apple pulled here, but I don't end up using it. And I'm just using the Elaine's Baby Wipe technique where you put a little bit of paint on a baby wipe and then just swipe it on the page. I thought instead of using the red on here, it might be fun to use some pink. So I'm using the rose color from the Illustrated Faith, Shanna's favorite paint set. And I just love this pink color. It's so vibrant. So I'm putting just a teeny tiny bit on with the baby wipe, and then that's going to do it for paint for the page. So I just wanted to show you guys that not everything works out the way that we think it will, the way that we have it in our mind, and we just kind of got to roll with the punches. And remember that all is not lost just because I wasn't able to apply some ink the way that I wanted it to. I was really able to just kind of bounce back and have some really meaningful time spent in the Word, meditating on this verse and what Allie is talking about in the devotional here. So I apologize that you guys didn't get to see me stamp down this phrase this Christmas. I don't know what happened, the camera decided to stop recording, so you didn't miss much. I just used the phrase from the devotional stamp set this Christmas, so my title reads, "Let your light shine this Christmas." But really not just around Christmas time, right? I mean, we want to shine our light year-round for all to see so that our Father might be glorified. So I got that blue mug adhered down onto the bottom, and now I'm just looking at the different sticker options I have to see what I want to put around the page. And here we go. I'm using the mugs from the clear sticker sheet. I used them to get the clip down at the top, and then the pink mug I decided to go ahead and put up at the top. And then, so you'll notice that I'm kind of creating vignettes around the page in 3 places. And that's just what I like to do so that your eye can just move around and take everything in. So I'm still at this point thinking about what I want my journaling to be, and waiting for that paint to dry below the title. So while I'm waiting, I'm just going to take the .25 precision pen from Illustrated Faith and outline the alpha stickers here. Like I said, the Day 7 devotional just dovetails really well into what Allie talks about in Day 8. And so in Day 7, she's talking about she asks us, what ways can you shine your light for others to see? And I thought that just dovetailed really nicely into what I wanted to talk about. So 1 John 1 verse 7 says, "But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Jesus, his Son, purifies us from all sin." So we are abiding as we dig into the Word with this Advent devotional, and our hearts are tethered to Him as we intentionally seek Jesus during this busy season. Allie says, if we walk in the light and have true fellowship with others who are in the light, then we have an opportunity this Advent season to show this light to others, and that's really where the title came from. She says that many people are open to the things of God around Christmas time compared to the rest of the year, and she's so right. And so my journaling here just kind of reflects that. I said, Lord, thank you for keeping my heart tethered to you this busy Christmas season. Honestly, that's what I've been praying for with each Advent entry, and it's so amazing to see how He's answered that. And then I continued by writing, please show our family who we can love on, someone who really needs you. And that's it, just a super simple prayer. Who can you think of that needs the light of Christ in their lives? Maybe it's a coworker, a parent at your kid's school, or the barista who makes your coffee every morning. Ask the Lord who you can love on this season, and I bet He will lay somebody or some family on your heart. So once I had my journaling down, I went ahead and stamped the date with the roller date stamp from Illustrated Faith with a big ol' amen in today's date. And then I thought about putting some of the washi from the kit on there, but I wanted something that wasn't going to take up so much room on the page and decided to go instead with the Advent Collection washi that has all of the numbers on there. I thought that would be really fun. And then I'm going to go in with the stamp set from the devotional kit and put a few of these darling bows around the page in 3 places. And again, wanting to use all the mugs. So I was sure to get this little mug with the heart in the middle stamped down on my page also. I thought that was just a nice little fit there next to the journaling. And then the last thing I'll stamp around the page is this beautiful star that's included with the stamps. That's going to do it for me. Here's a finished look at my page. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a wonderful, happy New Year. If you're interested in picking up any of the supplies I've used, I've got them linked in the video description below. I'll see you soon.